You want to go? How many of you want to go to Jantar Mantar? No? Why not? That will be the question in the UPSC Mains also. Yes, tell me. The reason should be satisfactory, okay? No, the question will not be like the Jantar Mantar, but the new demographic is going to some different, direction. That will be the kind of. So you are saying that you have deferred like mentality or that opinion, like what they are asking for. But Pranav, we cannot deny it completely because they are also consisting a large chunk. Passive support. Shriram, why you wanna go? No, I'm asking you wanna go or not? You're not updated. Why you not aware? You are living in Delhi. This is one of the major things. You should aware. Sonam Wangchuk has got he was having that hunger strike and something like that. You're not aware. You're not updated at all. Why not? This is a major thing that is going to impact on the road. But okay, we need to get aware. That's it. Do you have idea about it? And what is happening in the Jantar? What is happening? Like, simply just tell me why they are protesting for. Anushka. Okay. Deepke. What is his name? Deepke something. Abhijit Deepke. So are you supporting or not? Or what's your stand in that new Gen Z protest? All of you are Gen Z, right? Why not? Look, Dharmendra Pradhan is the education minister, and there is that discrepancy in the education sector. So obviously he is not responsible, but that will be going to set a major example that under your governance, like suppose that if any one of you are going to select it, I am little bit responsible for that. If you are any one of you are not going to select, even for that I'm also responsible. So it is not like he is responsible or not, but yes, that will going to set a kind of example. Don't you think so? You support. Then why you don't? Then why you're not supporting? What are the reasons for you're not supporting?
The reason is that they are demanding all the education of the it is not for the same level.
Okay, so you want more. Maybe that's the first step. You have actually major reason for supporting in spite of not enough reason for not supporting. Anushka, what's your step? Do you support or not? Do you know? Do you aware of that? What is okay? So do you support or not? You do? Okay, then why are you here? You should go to that Jantar Mantar, no? Just a conversation. I don't support the protest in Nepal at all. Not at all. They are just superficially doing whatever they were doing. So Nepal wala to I can even criticize that. Not just because I'm not in the Gen Z generation, but because they have not anything on ground. You know, suppose that if I come here, ye karna chahiye, wo karna chahiye, they should do, that should do, but I have not anything in the ground level. That's a falsification. So India ka even I can consider, but not Nepal. And in Bangladesh, ka, if the Gen Z or this kind of generation will have that much enough capacity, why that US built or that back governance is handling the Bangladesh? And Sheikh Hasina was doing good. Yes, what's your stand for this? No, not about Sheikh Hasina. I was asking Musa to that protest. Yes, Anushka. Yeah, Anushka, please continue. Pro. Wangchuk, yes. Okay. Mm-hmm. 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 Resignation of Education Minister, Pradhan. Even the re-NEET examination, there are so many discrepancies. Ye zoology class hai all everyone. This is not the polity class. Hai problems. Yes. Yeah, exactly. It's not about the UPSC, it's about the problem in the education system. You have a good stand. It will not remain the democratic. Very good. Even we know that this opposition party is not in that strong enough, you know, to counteract any bill or act or something like that. So Anushka, can we say that you are not seeing any negative application for this? Everything should have the positive and negative both. So do you think any negative thing, any negative aspect for that? Just I'll ask you. Yes. What is the negative aspect according to you? They must have, right? Okay, so something is called bloom, right? Something is called blooming. कहाँ तक थे अभी तक कहाँ थे अभिजीत दीप के? Where was he? Suddenly you came. So it has the chances against. I'm not again criticizing anyone. It has the chances that it is a foreign funded or the foreign back. That is one of the major things. Yes, education is the major important sector, one of that. But for that sector, we cannot compromise that internal security. You know? And you are not even consistent. You are giving such a silly excuses that because you have a migrant, so you cannot support that hunger strike. Right? And spite of having that serious thing to indicate, आपका अपना कोई background नहीं है. Right? You are saying कि when Sonam Wangchuk will come and then we'll protest. You do not have any idea. So that what you are going to do further. You know, because you never lived in India, you never, like you haven't explored, but you do not know even what are the major problems of India. You know, suddenly you came to India from such foreign, you are, that is, India ki majority population is that lower or middle lower class. So why he is coming just for the strikes? Why he is not living in India? He is not. Yeah, he was only in Canada or some foreign countries. He was not living in India, and he was not even consistent that 18 day during hunger strike. Why? If you become the leader, if I'll become the leader, obviously I have to be consistent to make the support of my team. If I will lack in that particular, that means I am not supporting by my heart. It's just कि I'm superficially saying कि yes, it should do. अगर आप उनसे जाके पूछोगे ना, I am supporting that just because of their intention. कि भाई whatever the stand they taking that truth. But अगर हमसे पूछोगे इसके बाद क्या? You are the new generation, right? You should have known that ki how India is working, how the democracy is going to work. You do not know anything. आप उनसे personally पूछो कि after that what? And every answer they'll say कि Sonam Wangchuk will come. And पीछे Sonam Wangchuk की वो है ना आगे they are dancing and doing such drama. Fun of over there. That is just declining the seriousness of that. So, even during that Mahatma Gandhi, he went for that 1892, I think. I know 1892, 1891 he went for that. Even living over there, वो leader थे. महात्मा गांधी को you cannot compare with Abhijit Dipke. Jamshed. No, your stand is correct. So many leaders were not even from India. Yeah, that's up. But he went for that particular advocate thing and something. वहां पे उन्होंने उस केस को लगने के बाद भी he took like उन्होंने ऐसा फर्स्ट क्लास में बैठा नहीं है ना. He took इन्होंने क्या किया? What is the background you know about Dipke? Do you know anything about him? यहाँ में आने के बाद he took Mahatma Gandhi took so many major steps. He just left all of that so-called dressing system to show that British thing, and he came to that basic cloth of Indian, है ना, जो कि आपकी खादी से बनी है. That's core. Even उनका इतना ज़्यादा core गांधीयन था कि we had not accepted that Gandhian philosophy of economy. He was so Indian. He cannot even come. Took the Subhash Chandra Bose. He's also one of that person. But even जब महात्मा गांधी ने 1939 में जब सीतारमैया पटाभी सीतारमैया को खड़ा किया था, still Indian supported to the sub. That's a open debate. That's a open politics. कि everyone was fan of Mahatma Gandhi. Still, people have that, thing or that openness or that's called freedom to support Subhash Chandra Bose, नेताजी. इस तरीके का open opposition होना चाहिए. And he left by his choice. Nowhere Abhijit Dipke come close to this. Migraine? Are you seriously? He's at 60-year-old. Mr. Sonam Wangchuk, he doesn't have any problem. He does have. Even the way police is treating him, that is also very negative. I'm not saying what are the consequences. I'm simply saying are you supporting or not. If you are not, or what is the problem or the challenge. देखो मैं बताती हूँ एक सिंपल सी इन शॉर्ट कंसाइज करती हूँ कि Gen Z will be the future. Gen Z के बाद Gen Alpha, Gen whatever, they will going to be future. So before going to decide the future, you should know how the past did work. Why we study history? Tell me the reason. That was one of the questions during my class 10th. कि क्यों पढ़नी है history? इतनी तो घटिया subject है. But now we get it. That because history makes us learn so many things. है ना? आपको पता चलता है कि past में ऐसी चीजें थी. क्यों पढ़ते post independence? Why we need to still talk about that Russian Revolution, French Revolution? Why? Because that history repeats itself. That situation will come again. And if you're not having learning, you cannot crack that. आपको लग रहा है suddenly आके just because you are Gen Z, you are open, you can open. Yes, that's good. That's a positive thing about you. But simultaneously, this generation need to also connect that कि okay, whatever has been happened earlier. उन्हें नहीं पता है what is the third tier government system. आपको जब basic local problem ये गांधी जी ने किसको तो बोला था. Why Gandhi ji focused on the tier 3 level of governance? है ना, जब because that is majority. According to 2011 census, only 31.27 something around, चलो 32 consider कर लो. Only 32% of Indian population lives in India, lives in urban area. That means majority 65 भी हम consider कर ले अभी तक में, तो 65% of Indian population living in rural India. If you do not know rural India, you cannot tackle the problem of India. That's what I'm saying. So have the background. Be it consistent. जब 1940 में जब गांधी जी आए थे, है ना, उनको बहुत सारे सीनियर दादा बनर्जी ने सेड की टेक द लीडरशिप. He said no. First I'll just roam around that India to know the real India, and then I'll take whatever the leadership. Because he was not hunger for the leadership. He actually wanted to do something. Not like Abhijit Dipke की वो आए अभी just land हुए, अरे I'll be the leader. अभिजीत दीप्के के अलावा कोई और नाम पता है? That's a second one. Like how many 1, 2, 3? How many of we know that? Less than 1%. That's the problem. Okay? You need to know. Okay, now you want to know my opinion. That's nice. देखो बांग्लादेश का तो ठीक है, एक बार कंसीडर कर सकते हैं कि भाई वो ग्रो कर रहा था और बहुत सही चल रही थी इसकी इकोनॉमी, पर जीडीपी शायद उसकी थोड़ी बहुत इंडिया से इंक्रीज ही हुई थी पर इनकम, व्हाट इज दैट, पर कैपिटा इनकम, यस एग्जैक्टली, है ना। अभी क्या है उसकी जीडीपी, अगेन डिक्लाइन, दैट्स अ प्रॉब्लम। अगर आप रिलीजन बेसिस पे चीजें जज करने लगोगे, ऑब्वियसली इट विल नॉट इक्वलाइज टू एवरी कम्युनिटी, है ना, देन अगेन यू आर गोइंग बैकवर्ड। अफगानिस्तान एट देयर ओन टाइम पे वो बहुत सही जा रहा था, now they become ki nahi nahi, everything is only related, even in the India also I would say that. Take the South America example, so many countries, Venezuela, yes, yes. आपको पता है जो लिकर का पास लेता है ना, उसकी फैमिली में लिकर पीने वाला नहीं होता है कभी भी। Do you know that? So आप बना रहे हो, that's good. Use that economic purposes. If you are getting, आप suppose ऐसा सोचो कि आप लेकर किसी शॉप पे जाओ और वो खुद ऐसा फुल हाई होके बैठा है, what you expect, है ना। तो आप ओपीएम करो। इंडिया में आई थिंक यूपी में देयर इज अ उन्नाव, as far as I know, and आजमगढ़ I'm not sure very, है ना, वहां पे प्रोडक्शन होता है, ये लाइक लीगलाइज्ड है ये। नहीं नहीं नहीं, there's a unnao, and I'm not talking about opium, I'm talking about marijuana and something, there's a one another grass, not poppy तो for sure not, तो उसका लीगलाइज्ड है, बट वहां की पॉपुलेशन सबसे कम इम्पैक्टेड है, दैट इज वाई वो कंटिन्यूअस है। द डे जब इस कंपनी का, जब लिकर पीने बेचने वाली शॉप पे लिकर ही पी के इंसान बैठे रहेगा, देन लिकर शॉप विल नॉट रन फॉर लॉन्ग, दैट्स व्हाट आई एम सेइंग, है ना। देयर आर टू मेजर थिंग्स भाई, जिसको जिस लेवल, और ये जो लोग रिलीजन का ड्रामा करते हैं, दे आर नॉट इवन सपोर्टिंग फॉर दैट देयर ओन सेल्फ। हो गई ना राम मंदिर में चोरी, चलो, but I'm not supporting Bajpa, not I'm opposing them. I'm simply talking about that CJP should have a little background. I mean just simple that. आप थोड़ा सा हिस्ट्री पढ़ के आओ, do your homework, then come and talk about it. Do not depend it only on Sonam Wangchuk. Even अन्ना हजारे के टाइम पे भी, why everyone selected that आपका क्या नाम है उस लीडर का, आपका मेजर केजरीवाल, why everyone, because केजरीवाल knew about India, है ना, he himself worked on it, he was an IRS officer I think, yes. Why we have selected them, even I was one of the supporter for him, why, because for everything he was not supporting to Anna Hazare was like little ऐसा पुराने टाइम का जो हिस्ट्री प्रोवाइड कर रहे थे, and Kejriwal is providing that future, and the combination created a good thing, that is why इतनी short level पे आप has succeeded for to win that Delhi। इतना इजी है क्या दिल्ली विन करना इतनी मेजोरिटी पार्टी में, समझ आया, बिकॉज दे हैड द बैकग्राउंड, टीजेपी डजंट हैव। किसकी, हाँ हाँ, इट्स नॉट द प्रॉब्लम ऑफ दिल्ली जमशेद, इट्स द प्रॉब्लम ऑफ इंडियन पॉपुलेशन। इंडिया, आपको पता है दिल्ली का जो ये वोटर पॉपुलेशन है ना, वो वन ऑफ दैट लिटरेट पीपल है। आपको क्या लगता है, आप वोट देने, मैं वोट देने जाती हूँ, केजरीवाल हारने का एक अलग केस है, आई कैन नॉट डिस्कस अभी, वी विल डिस्कस सम डे लेटर, वो अलग केस है। हार कैसे किया, दैट्स नॉट द प्रॉब्लम, जीता कैसे, दैट्स द प्रॉब्लम, बिकॉज वी आर कंपेयरिंग द सीजेपी, दैट वाज आल्सो स्टार्टेड फ्रॉम सच, है ना, करप्शन। व्हाट वाज द कोर टू इमर्जेंस ऑफ दैट सीजेपी, द करप्शन। The same is thing with the CJP. I was supporting the AAP, but I'm not supporting the CJP. Do your homework. If suppose that someone is, the future generation is going to ask, what you are going to do? You must, अगर suppose that आपके पास एक politician आता है ना, कहेगा नहीं नहीं सब कुछ बहुत खराब चल रहा है, सब कुछ बहुत खराब चल रहा है, everything is going very bad, and you're going to ask, okay, what you will do with me? तभी जब politicians आते हैं, अपना एक proper propaganda, एक proper लेके आते हैं कि you are going to do that, हम ये कर देंगे, हम वो कर देंगे। What if they'll say कि suppose that आपने क्लास में आओ, मैम आप कैसे पढ़ाओगी, ऐसे ही बस पढ़ा देंगे, बस काम खत्म। Will you want to take admission? No. Trust me or not, as much as you are a rational person, you are not going to take the admission. ठीक है, that's the problem. आप पूछो जाके क्या करना है, सोनम talk about, why Sonam talk about, and why you are leader back. आएगा तो we'll talk about, तो फिर नहीं करूं। अभी भी कोई कुछ नहीं बोल रहा है, अभी भी कोई कुछ नहीं बोल रहा है। बांग्लादेश हैज प्रॉपर, एक ऐसा होता है ना कि मेरी नजर में वो आ गया है, नाउ आई वांट दैट सीट। वो यूएस के अंडर में आ चुका था बिकॉज यूएस कुड नॉट एबल टू कंट्रोल इंडिया एनी हाउ। तो व्हाट यूएस थॉट कि इंडिया को कंट्रोल नहीं कर सकता, पाकिस्तान इज ऑलरेडी सन इन लॉ, एंड टू कैप्चर अबाउट दैट इंडियन ओशियन, हु इज देयर? बांग्लादेश। That's an international relation I am very much, I listen daily. तो बांग्लादेश का केस is completely different. India himself gave the autonomy to the Bangladesh during that period of 1971 का जो war है. Yes, भूटान को भी इंडिया ने खुद दिया है कि जाओ भाई आजाद करो, रहो, है ना, do your own thing. We are not like US. Just have the eye on something and now this is mine. That's the US. Actually, the problem of the US, he is going to compete with China, and for that, he has to have the major stake into an Indian Ocean. Yes. Same China is doing Pearl string theory. So many ports, not only Hambantota port, so many ports about that port of Sri Lanka, which have the zero relevance almost. Banane ke baad, bicharo Sri Lanka is, yes, Sri Lanka itself went on the depth. We are not discussing the IR. Please continue. Jaldi, jaldi, finish it up. Of what? West terminal of what? How is it China or the Pakistan?
China have it, and when India has the another east terminal.
Same situation had with the Maldives. And Maldives का इंडिया ने थोड़ा सा इंटरनल सिक्योरिटी का ठीक करा. Otherwise Maldives के भी वो क्या नाम था उनका? He came into that कि no, remove all of that Indian soldiers and everything. फिर उन पे यूएस ने आगे जब करा, then they realized कि नहीं, India was only taking the security. है ना? Japan is one of the country जिसका पूरा जो डिफेंस सिस्टम था, it was completely under US. But now Japan is working with their agencies, है ना, with that spy agencies. Why? Because everyone get to know. US is just taking the benefit. US is not a democracy. US is just the private corporate but it doesn't accept now that capitalist thing. Chalo, zoology, come again to the topic. So, क्या लिखा था last में? Now we can start. Yes, Vishal?
मैम आपका क्या ओपिनियन है कि जो अभिजीत है वो यहाँ इंडिया में क्यों आया?
क्या था?
मीन्स जो अभिजीत सीजीपी का,
देखो उसका इंटेंशन सही है. I'm not talking about the intention is wrong, but I have the problem with that he doesn't have the homework. He didn't do that homework. If I'm going to suppose that if someone future generation is going to ask, okay, you are my supermodel and you are my hero, you are my idol, what you're going to do? Abhijit Dipke has nothing to say. ऐसा मुझे लगता है. Whatever the obviously the information, I'm not only talking about the media to whom we are saying, because media is one of that thing जो किसी भी majority of Indian population का वो करता है. I'm not even talking about it. I'm talking so many articles and other things. The way of information I can get. Obviously, I'm properly actively up, but मुझे उसका background नहीं काम किया, so I'm not supporting him. That's the problem. About his intention, I'm completely supporting him.
मैम लेकिन कर तो अच्छा ही रहा है ना, चाहे बाहर से आए चाहे अंदर से.
saying ना बच्चा अंजलि, that's what I'm saying कि वो जो कर रहा है that's good. अगर मैं आपसे बोलूं कि आप यूपीएससी की प्रिपरेशन करने जा रहे हो, say yes ma'am, so intention is good that you're preparing for the UPSC, then I'll ask you बच्चा what's your strategy, and you have nothing to talk about. What do you think? Am I going to support you? Not at all. That's the problem I'm not talking about his intention. I'm talking, yes, obviously, the step, the reason, that's all are good. But do a little homework, no? That's what I'm saying.
मैम चलो वो तो बाहर से आया है, लेकिन जो गवर्नमेंट है वो तो यहीं पे वो क्यों नहीं कुछ कर रही?
क्या?
मैम जो गवर्नमेंट है,
गवर्नमेंट,
यस मैम, वो क्यों नहीं कुछ कर रही?
I'm not expecting anything from government. That's why the problem. अब गवर्नमेंट को पूछो कि why the Indian rupee is falling, तो Mrs. she was going to tell कि कांग्रेस के टाइम पे भी तो ये हो रहा था. आई एम नॉट इवन सपोर्टिंग एट ऑल इन दैट पर्टिकुलर फाइनेंशियल कंडीशन और द education sector. I'm not saying that I'm supporting the government. You are mistakenly take me wrong. I'm not supporting the government, but neither I'm supporting completely to the deep K.
Yes,
Just
ma'am.
do the homework, then I'll support maybe.
लेकिन जो सोनम वांगचुक है वो उनको आप सपोर्ट करती हैं?
Yes, definitely I'm supporting. In that whole conversation of last half an hour, I did not criticize a single time to the Sonam Wangchuk. I am supporting it. I'm not even saying this. कि मैं तो खुद ही कह रही हूँ कि the way उनको लेके जाएगा, that's very wrong. I'm supporting him. Government का कोई भी नहीं आया. जितने लोग support कर रहे हैं, everyone is like doing that passively through that social media. That's the problem I'm talking about. है ना? Sonam Wangchuk I'm completely supporting him, and before when he was talking about Ladakh, in that time I was supporting. I'm not even criticizing. But वो future नहीं है ना. Future is Abhijit Dipke. Future are you. Our parents are not the future. Future are us. So we should do work on, not because वही वाली हिंदी में कहावत है ना कि उनके कंधे पे रख के बंदूक नहीं चलानी है. We should have own our thing. कि you should have a kind of paperwork, so that if someone in the future is going to ask to you, you should have known कि what you are going to do.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just. पता नहीं इसमें multiple theories है. Bollywood I do not much support. What, Shriram, again repeat that? What did he say? Me? नहीं, अभी फिलहाल तो मैं लॉ करने का सोच रही हूँ. क्या कराने के लिए कोई नहीं है. अरे no, so many of my friends are already doing law. That's why I'm serious. चलो, write down. The pinacoderm, conoderm, and mesenchyme, right? Right. Pinacoderm is a dermal epithelium. Pinacoderm is a dermal epithelium. Conoderm is a gastral epithelium. Conodum. हाँ वही CHO है no. It's a gastral epithelium. Gastral inside of that endoderm wala. Gastral epithelium. Hello. Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm in the class in between. Okay, sure. Gastral epithelium. Full stop. While the mesenchyme is gelatinous, mesenchyme. While the mesenchyme is gelatinous, non-cellular layer present in between both. Mesenchyme consists of, इसी में कंटिन्यू करो. Mesenchyme consists of skeletal elements and free amoeboid cells. Now make the heading conocytes. ऐसे लिखो, सिर्फ स्टार बना के लिखो conocytes. That is the characteristic feature of this phylum, of the Poriferans. Conocyte is a characteristic feature of Poriferans. Full stop. The primary function is to create a water current. Through the sponge's body. And to filter the food particles and to filter the food particles from the water, from the incoming water, from the incoming water current. इसी में कंटिन्यू कोनोसाइट्स में it is also responsible for ingestion of food, digestion, secretion, and the differentiation of sex cells, Next point. The mesophyll, next point, the mesophyll, also known as mesenchyme, is a non-cellular layer, majorly consists with spongin fibers, which helps in maintaining the shape and also involve in the movement because it consists the amoebocyte, slash amoeba-like cells, right? In the last class, what we have already discussed, that amoebocyte. So we have said that flagellated cells or the amoebocyte cells or the ciliated cells. What does that mean? That means locomotion. Yes, exactly. Function is similar to the amoeba or the flagella or the cilia. Remember, Pranav? We have talked about that, na? कि अगर कहीं पे amoeba लिखा है तो या amoebocyte movement है तो what does that mean? That means हाँ, अगर किसी सेल के आगे लिखा है flagellated, that means something it is helping in that movement. ठीक है? So exactly, mesophyll layer के पास have the amoebocyte cells specifically, which are going to help in that. अब amoebocyte cell का मतलब भी क्या हो गया? That they are going to help in that movement of particular thing. ठीक है? Next point. The amoebocytes are modified into different other types of cells, as they do not consist specific shape, shape or structure. Shriram, what is the structure or shape of amoeba? What is the structure of shape of amoeba? The name is Shriram. Exactly, it doesn't have a specific structure or shape, right? That is why the specific kind of amoeba cells present in that mesophyll layer, they can form different types of cells, and then they will have maybe the defined structure or the. Okay, next, first or structure. First, इसी के सब पॉइंट्स पे लिखेंगे हम. Archaeocytes. They have totipotency. Character. That means.
Ma'am, they have
Totipotency. Stem cells we will going to talk about. क्या हो जाता है? ठीक हो जाती है? उनको इंजरी होगी तब तो ठीक होंगी. व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ टोटिपोटेंसी, जमशेद? Okay, but in the unis, in the like multicellular tissue level of organ, what will be the characteristics of the totipotency? ठीक हो जाता है. That means they have the ability to, yes, because what is the meaning of totipotency?
Meant ability to generate complete organism.
Okay, fine. So in short, ये हम लोग multicellular level पे बात करें, but Porifera still does not have a specific organ level of development, right? तो complete organ की जगह we can say the totipotency through that archaeocyte cells in the Poriferans have the ability to form the another या different types of cells too, है ना? अब पूरी body form कर रहे हैं या फिर specific kind of cells also they can form, just like archaeocytes can form the another types of cells too, है ना? As you guys are only saying that totipotency is the ability to form the new thing or the regeneration, right? Suppose that if we talk about that lizard ka tail, so lizard ka tail, lizard is proper vertebrate, proper reptile, ठीक है? तो it does have so many specific things, but at the level of very small, that's the first kingdom of that your animal, right, Priya? So if these kind of totipotency cell have the ability, so that means they can convert into some another type of cells too. They have the ability. Clear? All good? Okay? Chalo, write down. Yes? We'll talk about the stem cells, Pranav. Then we'll talk about the different level of stem cells. Some of the stem cells have the ability to form any kind of thing. Then this ability is in the diverse way, then it is going to constrict that. जैसे कि आरबीसी की सेल से आरबीसी बन रही है या स्किन की सेल रीजनरेट होगी, दैट इज आल्सो द स्टेम सेल्स, है ना? तो टोटिपोटेंसी इज दैट डिपेंडिंग कि किस ऑर्गेनिज्म में हम बात कर. इन व्हाट सेंस? देखो कैंसर सेल्स और ओके राइट, कैंसर सेल्स आल्सो हैव दिस द थिंग कि अच्छा कैंसर सेल का कॉन्सेप्ट खैर अलग है जमशेद, मतलब उसका ये कि दे आर फॉर्मिंग द नंबर ऑफ सेल्स the similar like so that they can produce a more number of cells. Suppose that if the my elbow is going to be injured, है ना, and that has to be fixed कि 100 cell division होना है, बाकी खत्म, उसके बाद नहीं होना है, then the cell will enter into the G0 phase. But still if it is continuously going on and going, so obviously the cell number, the cell size is going to be decreased. So if the cell size is going to be decreased, to form that another cell they require a low amount of energy too. So that is a totipotency कि they are forming the similar types of their cells to create that. What is cancer? What is cancer? So that जब भी कैंसर होता है हमेशा पहले एक ऐसा सेल का ऐसा बंच सा बन जाता है ना? तो वहां से स्टार्ट होता है. So that means excess number of cells are just collecting it over there. सेल डिवीजन अनकंट्रोल्ड होगा तो सेल डिवीजन तो नंबर ऑफ सेल्स कम हो जाएंगे, फिर क्या होएगा? ज्यादा होएगा, फिर क्या होएगा? दे आर गोइंग टू कलेक्ट. राइट डाउन. That is, they can convert into another cells. They can convert into another types of cells. Second, trophocytes. Trophocytes. They are also known as the nurse cells. They are also known as nurse cells, as they provide food/nourishment to the developing cells. Food/nourishment to the developing cells. नहीं मतलब ऐसा वो लिखने में समझाने की सेंस में मैं लिखती हूँ, आप लोग कॉपी में ऐसा नहीं लिखोगे. नहीं, ऐसे वो मैं एक्सप्लेन करने के सेंस में लिखती हूँ. चूज एनी वन ऑफ द वर्ड. ठीक है. थर्ड, थीजोसाइट्स. Thyzocytes. They can store food granules. They can store food granules. Next. Spongioblast. Spongio. S-P-O-N-G-I-O. Spongioblast. They secrete spongin fiber. They secrete spongin. इन्हीं के बेसिस पे इनका क्लासिफिकेशन है, राइट? Porifera is classified on the basis of that. Spongin fiber. Fibers of mesophyll layer. Of mesophyll layers. Next, germ cells. Germ cells. They have the ability to form. Have the ability to form the sperm/ova gametes. Sperm/ova. They develop specifically during the breeding season. Next, coleocytes. अच्छा, ये मेजर लिखवा रही हूँ मैं, और भी होंगे बट इतना आप लिख दोगे. अगर इनमें से 4-5 भी लिख दोगे तो भी इतना सफिशिएंट है. ठीक है. कोलियोसाइट्स, बिकॉज दीज आर द मेजर वन. ये आपकी नर्व सेल प्रोवाइड कर रही है, ये फूड स्टोरेज कर रही है, स्पॉन्जिन कर रही है, ये जर्म कर रही है. और आर्कियोसाइट स्पेसिफिक काइंड ऑफ थिंग. तो अगर ये 5 भी आप लिख रहे हो, दैट्स गुड एनफ. ओके. अगर इन केस बाय चांस 1-2 मिस हो जाए, इसलिए एक्सेस वन. कोलियोसाइट्स, राइट डाउन. दे secrete collagen fiber. They secrete collagen fiber. Last, और भी है मतलब. Mycocytes. They form a cellular ring. They form a cellular, नहीं, acellular. They form a cellular ring around the osculum. Full stop. Which around the osculum. Osculum भी करेंगे अपन. Osculum, comma, which help in opening and closing of osculum. It. Next point.
Closing of
It. Closing of osculum. That's the opening or closing of it. So, if I want to just break this terminology, can I get it something? माइको, मायो और माइको सेम होता है. Yes, you are saying something. Myco word is coming from Mycobacterium. Why they called the Mycobacterium? This is also same terminology. Yes, very good, Navneeta. Very nice. Myco. Acha, what is mycology? Study of fungi. The myco word is relating to the fungus. Yes, mycelium. That's a fiber the body is made up of. Jamshed, relate hua kuch? Right? Mycology is the study of fungi. What is the specific thing of the fungi? Chitin. Chitin is useful for Chitin is useful for, yes, that is making the hard or that tough external layer, so that when it is associating with the lichen, in that when they are associating with the algae in the lichen, so they can just penetrate in that hard surfaces and absorb the nutrition. So can we consider myco is some of that hard thing? Suppose that एक ऐसे consider करो, there is a sponge, है ना, in the normal, not sponge organism, not normal sponge, ठीक है. आप अब इसमें ये opening closing है, so it should be regulated by something hard thing. जैसे कि when we talk about the stomata, so stomata is regulated by opening and closing through that guard cells, है ना. तो that means something should be like, अगर suppose that copy है या page है, अगर if I want to open or close it, है ना, that अब उसमें इतना strong कोई nerve word तो कुछ है नहीं, so something is hard covering it over there for nerve, so that it will help in that opening or closing of it. Otherwise वो तो पानी की, otherwise it is in the water, so there will be no regulation, है ना. So that hard thing is helping into that closing on. That's why it is known as mycocytes. ठीक है, sure. Right on. Body, central body cavity. हाँ, next point. Central body cavity of poriferans is called paragastric cavity. Is called paragastric cavity. मतलब सीलोम नहीं है यहाँ पे, ठीक है. और also known as क्या बोलते हैं, स्पॉन्जोसील. Exactly, spongocoel, and also known as spongocoel, the central body cavity. ठीक है. Next point, इसी में करो actually. Body have the many number of pores. Body have the many number of pores ब्रैकेट में ostia.
मैम ये
Body
नॉर्मल
have, इसी में कंटिन्यू से बच्चों.
ओके मैम.
Body have many numbers of pores. This is a normal point, central body cavity वाले से खत्म हो गए वो points, ये normal point है. Pores called ostia, underline that, called ostia, which is connected through canals and chambers to the spongocoel, which is connected through canals and chambers to spongocoel for the flow and serve for the flow of water, and serve SERVE, and serve for the flow of water. Done. Full stop. इसी में कंटिन्यू करना. One, and serve for the flow of water. ठीक है, ऐसा फंक्शन करते. Full stop. One or more water exit pores called oscula are present. Next point. The skeleton of poriferans are calcareous, or siliceous, calcareous or siliceous. Spicules, spicules or of protein spongin fiber or of protein spongin fiber. Protein spongin fiber या तो calcareous होंगे या तो silica के होंगे. Like what we can get it from the calcareous? Majorly they are made up of calcium. Siliceous मतलब silica और protein spongin fiber. Protein spongin fiber or both or absent. It can be of anything or both protein spongin fiber or both or absent or absent. Next, digestion is intracellular. Digestion is intracellular. Next, no specific respiratory or excretory organs are present. Respiratory or excretory organs are present. Excretory organs are present. Next point. It occurs all the major. Next point. All the major. Enough. Next point. All the major. It occurs nahi. All the major physiological activities occur with the help of water canal system. Underline that. Water canal system. Through which water current enters inside the body. Through which water current enters inside the body via ostia, via ostium, comma, enriched with oxygen and nutrition, oxygen and nutrition, oxygen and nutrition, and take exit out through the osculum, comma, through the osculum, involving excretory and the external reproduction process Next point. स्टार बना के इसको याद रखना हमेशा. The primitive nervous system, जिनका ये डाउट होता है, because when we are going to explain that silent traitor, मैं वहां पे बोलूंगी the first time. तो यहाँ पे that is why I am saying that primitive nervous system of neurons arranged in a definite network of bipolar or multipolar cells. Next point. All the sponges are hermaphrodite. If you know about the hermaphrodite, yes. ठीक है, अगर किसी को नहीं आ रहा है तो पूछ लेना है. ठीक है फ्रेंड्स, hermaphrodite means both male and female gametes are present in that single body. जिन्हें नहीं याद है वो प्रैक्टिस में लिख सकते हैं. Both male and female gametes, all the sponges are hermaphrodite. Bracket में both male and female gametes present inside the same body. Bracket close. And and cross fertilization is the rule of reproduction, and cross fertilization is the rule of reproduction. Exactly, that is why it has to be mentioned. That in that, okay, everyone, this is the point that it is saying. Suppose that this is a porifera, okay, this is one porifera. So what we are saying here, the male gamete or the female gamete both are present, but both do not fertilize within the same body. They do have present, but self-fertilization nahi hota hai. If you know about the cross-fertilization, Pranav, we do have the two types of fertilization. One is the self-fertilization. It's like in that single body, there's a male and female, so they can fertilize with each other. So that is called self-fertilization, you know. But the second type, that is called the cross-fertilization. That means iska male will fertilize with another body ka female, ठीक है, और इसकी female will fertilize with that another body of Y. Daksh.
The variation there of genetic variation or
Yes, because
I think it's because of protogyne's condition.
how it is justifying here?
Cross fertilization because in protogynous condition, first female reproductive organ is mature, and that's why the male gamete of one sponge have to travel to the next sponge.
Yes. Actually, you have answered it rightly, but you made it specific. So that is the reason, because कि इसमें जो female और male gametes हैं, they get mature into the different period of time. Yes, just like Vikas has said, protogyny condition. So what is protogyny condition? He has said कि female mature first, then the male matures, है ना? So it may occur कि inside of that single body, male suppose that 10 days में mature हो जा रहा है, it's just random day. यहाँ पे कोई रेफरेंस में नहीं ले रही हूँ. Suppose that male 10 days में mature हो रहा है, and female suppose that is taking a 15 days, or maybe female 15 days में हो रही है, female 10 days में हो रही है, और male 15 days. So until they not become mature, they cannot fertilize. So जो mature पहले हो जाता है वो release out हो जाता है, and it happens. Cross fertilization is a thumb rule. Self fertilization नहीं होता. Got it? श्रीराम. हाँ, जरूरी है. इतना छोटू सा तो ऑर्गेनिज्म है यार, सारा एनर्जी अगर सब कुछ मेंटेन कर पाएगा तो फिर कैसे सर्वाइव करेगा? A little amount of energy they have ना, वाटर के साथ कितने ही खाना आ जाएगा, है ना? जस्ट जब जैसा खाना मिलेगा they'll become mature. Okay, next. Last point, asexual, रुको, both sexual and asexual reproduction occur. हाँ, next point, both sexual and asexual reproduction occurs. Asexual reproduction occur. Both sexual and asexual reproduction occur. Full stop. Asexual method is through budding process. And gemule formation. Underline that, gemule formation, क्योंकि इस पे 10 marks के आपका क्वेश्चन आ चुका है. And gemule formation. ठीक है? While the sexual reproduction, हाँ इसी में, while the sexual reproduction is through the fertilization between sperm and ova. Is through the fertilization between sperm and ova. Done. एक और पॉइंट लिखो. Majority of the poriferans shows regeneration power. Majority of the poriferans, almost all, है ना, show the regeneration power. Next point. After the fertilization, the development is indirect method. The development is indirect method. देखो, this is your first phylum now. That's why I'm explaining it here. There's a two method of development. Okay. What is the one method? दोनों में suppose that obviously it is after that reproduction process. तो zygote बना. अब zygote से there's a two thing. Zygote से पहले larva बन के, larva is a proper different stage which does consist or which does have the proper differences from that adult body. जैसे कि very common larva, what we know that the tadpole, है ना, in the frog. So everyone have seen the frog, ठीक है. But the tadpole larva is like this. Is it a resemblance with the frog at all? It is not about the color. It is about the body structure too, right? Now the frog has proper the tetrapoda, है ना, they have the proper limbs and all, है ना. So that is proper. That means larva के through आप बोलोगे मैम ultimately ये भी तो adult में जा रहा है, yes. But that is the significance of that larva also. It has a proper different structure from that adult. So that method after the fertilization, when it is going through the larval stage, it is called that indirect method. अब दोबारा किसी भी फाइलम में I'll not explain, है ना. But अगर ये जैसे कि ह्यूमन में fertilization के बाद the new baby जो born होता है, even ये जो grow होता है womb में, वो exactly resembled like the adult, है ना. Proper limb and everything is that. That is why here we are calling which जो directly adult पे convert होगा, that we are going to call it direct method. So what we are saying that here is a indirect method. That is through, समझ आ गया प्रणव? लार्वा बीच में जैसे कि मान लो फ्रॉग में फर्टिलाइजेशन हुआ, है ना. देन दे ले आउट दैट एग. आपने सुना होगा, हम लोग के सिलेबस में भी है पेरेंटल केयर इन एम्फीबियंस. तो जब उनका लार्वा, जब उनका एग ऐसा ब्रेक होता है, तो उसमें से जो बच्चा निकल रहा है, लाइक द फर्स्ट थिंग व्हिच वी कैन सी, इट इज नॉट लुक लाइक दैट फ्रॉग का अडल्ट ना. इवन छोटू सा भी दे डू नॉट लुक लाइक दैट, दे लुक लाइक दिस. That is your larval stage. Through that is called indirect. Direct adult में नहीं बड़े हो रहे, आपकी larval के through बढ़ रहे, ठीक है. That is why इसमें parental care पाई जाती है. So when we are going to cover the parental care in amphibian, we will mention that why the parental care is important. Because larva cannot survive their own. ना बहुत सारे significances हैं, diversity and everything, but यहाँ पे बस ये समझो, ठीक है. Indirect method, that means through the free swimming ciliated larva. That means through the free swimming ciliated larva called amphiblastula or parenchyma. Amphiblastula or अंडरलाइन कर लियो, ठीक है. चलो नेक्स्ट मेक रेडी. क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ पॉरीफेरा. देखो, तो व्हेन वी हैव टॉक्ड अबाउट द प्रोटोजोअन्स, व्हाटएवर द थिंग्स वी हैव टॉक्ड अबाउट, पॉरीफेरास में आपका सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट क्या है कि इनके पास स्पेसिफिक काइंड ऑफ सेल्स पाई जाती है ना. दैट इज द आर्कियोसाइट अमीबोसाइट सेल्स व्हिच कैन कन्वर्ट इनटू द मल्टीपल नंबर ऑफ सेल्स. तो हमने क्लासिफिकेशन में उसको प्रॉपर मेंशन किया है ना. लाइक सॉरी, क्लासिफिकेशन में पॉइंट्स में जनरल कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स में. एंड द सेकंड थिंग इज अबाउट द कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स इज योर वाटर कैनाल सिस्टम. So we have also mentioned about the water canal system. अब इनमें water canal के system के through ही, in these poriferans only the water canal system, majority of the physiological activities occur, the digestion, the excretion, the circulation, whatever. That is, otherwise as we are going to the complex phylum, we are going to mention that separately. ठीक है? Sure. Write down classification.
मैम
Yes, बच्चों.
मैम आर्कियोसाइट्स से लेके जो माइकोसाइट्स है, ये अमीबोसाइट्स में है.
हाँ, अमीबोसाइट्स वजह एक स्पेसिफिक काइंड ऑफ सेल्स होती है ना, जो कि आपकी मीजोफिल लेयर में होती है. बाहर वाली पिनाकोडम, अंडर वाली कोनोडम, और उनके बीच में एक non-cellular layer पाई जाती है. So it has a specific kind of cells. Depending upon the depending upon the condition, depending on the requirement, this amoebocyte cell can convert in any one of the above. ठीक है? Why? Because they have the totiopotency. That means they can convert any one of the above. Suppose that something entered in through the water. Maybe they have destructed the spongioblast. Maybe just random. So they will to just maintain, because they are not very complex now. So they have to survive through whatever. So they will convert into spongioblast to maybe so they can just survive. Okay?
Okay, ma'am. And ma'am, gemule क्या होता है?
अभी करेंगे gemule formation. We'll do that. That's the method of sexual reproduction during that condition. We'll do that. The
Okay.
kind of spores, so that when they are liberated, the number of new poriferans will generate or liberate. We'll do
Okay,
that. Classification, right on. The phylum includes what? Classification लिखा रहे हैं तो थोड़ा normal ये तो लिख लो कि किस basis पे कर रहे हैं. The phylum includes more than 11,000 species. The phylum includes more than 11,000 species of sponges, which grouped into three classes, mainly dependent upon the nature or type of skeleton they possess. The nature or type of skeleton they possess. First, calcarea. Second, hexatenellida. देखो ऐसा आप लोग लिखना नहीं, अच्छा ऐसे लिख लो. Ducks, stop doing that. First, we're getting calcarea. First, we're getting कहाँ पे? Demo spongy. Demos कहाँ गए? Demo spongy. First, we're getting calcarea. They are also known as calcispongy. As this term is made up of you know that limestone, right? You must have covered in the geography. Limestone is one of the type of rock, है ना? With a major constitution of calcium, right? CaCO3, calcium carbonate, limestone, चूना पत्थर जिसे बोलते हैं, ठीक है? Next point. That means these sponges have these sponges have calcareous skeleton, have calcareous exoskeleton, Next point. They are generally small sized sponges, comma, below the 10 centimeter in height, below the 10 centimeter height. Next point. They are solitary or colonial both, below 10 centimeter in height. Next point. They are solitary, SOLITARY, or colonial both, Next point. देखो पॉरीफेरांस का मैं क्लासिफिकेशन और क्लासेस के कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स लिखवा रही हूँ बिकॉज इट इज इंपॉर्टेंट. After the poriferans, I am going to explain the classes K characteristics in the orthopoda directly. So after that porifera, we do have that Coelenterata, Ctenophora, Platyhelminthes, Aschelminthes. इनकी particular classification is not frequently asked. Even if it is asked, it is just you have to mention that, है ना? But because poriferans are one of that, even इसमें आपका क्वेश्चन भी आया हुआ है, the spicules of porifera अपन करेंगे अभी, ठीक है? So spicules of porifera में you have to talk, and the what like overall what we are getting it here. We have mentioned the classification, right, Amshad? Right? So overall what we can get here, because of their exoskeleton, these three classes are going to be defined. That means can we say that except the water canal system, the type of spicules or type of exoskeleton is also very important. Are we getting that? सबका नहीं करेंगे अपन, ठीक है? तो सीधे अब ऑर्थोपोड के करें. चलो, तो मुझे क्वेश्चन नहीं पूछना क्या मुझका कराया था, इसका नहीं कराया, ठीक? चलो. Spicules. क्या निकला? Next point. Body shape is generally cylindrical or vase-like. Body shape is cylindrical or vase or vase, whatever you call it. VASE. Vase-like or vase-like. Next point. Skeleton is made up of either separate one or three or four rayed, separate one or three or four rayed, RAYED is like this. Rate. You do not, this is not appearing like a ray-like structure, right? This is a structure of spicules, है ना? Ray-like structure. How Pranav? This structure. ये that's spicules. अभी I'll show that. जैसे कि suppose that ये body है sponge की, तो ये externally जो outer है ना, तो इस पे ऐसे करके structure होते हैं. So, अच्छा, whenever the calcium will be deposited, obviously it will take a kind of shape, just like in your body. There's a calcium, where? So bones have a particular shape. So even when we talk about the nature, है ना? So when we talk about, suppose that whenever we do the whitewashing, है ना? तो अगर if you put the calcium somewhere, it takes some random shape because it is a kind of calcium, is a kind of sedimentation, है ना? Because it's a hard material. That is why it is used for that storage thing. That's it. तो स्पिक्यूल जब इसका कैल्शियम जो स्टोर होता है स्पिक्यूल्स के फॉर्म में, तो अभी हम लोग करेंगे मोनोएक्सॉन, ट्राइएक्सॉन, टेट्राएक्सॉन, दैट इज कॉल्ड शेप रे. ठीक है, राइट ऑन. 1 or 3 or 4 rayed calcareous spicules. रेड लाइक स्ट्रक्चर बोला है, क्या लिखा है? रेड लाइक स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ calcareous spicules. Red like structure of calcareous spicules. लास्ट पॉइंट क्या हुआ जमशेद? Where is the coral reef? Coral reef comes in which phylum? Coral reef comes in which phylum? यहाँ पे कहां से आ गई? ठीक. Next point. They are exclusively marine. Next point. They are exclusively marine. हमसे सोचता होगा just better not to say anything, right? Exclusively marine. ठीक है. Last next point. They are again classified into two orders. They are again classified into two orders. Homocoela and heterocoela. ऐसे reclusive. Homocoela and heterocoela. ऑर्डर है ना, ये क्लास को फर्दर डिवाइड करते हैं तो ऑर्डर लिखते हैं ना, ORD. होमोसीला के एग्जाम्पल में लिखो, इसमें लिखो ग्रांशिया. इसके एग्जाम्पल में इसमें आगे कैरेक्टरिस्टिक लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है. तो हेटेरोसीला के एग्जाम्पल में लिखो ग्रांशिया एंड ल्यूकोसोलोनिया एंड ल्यूकोसोलोनिया. हेटेरोसीला में स्काइफा. Shriram, you can ask for that, है ना, loudly. Obviously that's a weird spelling. ठीक है, that's it. चलो next class second. Next class second. Hexatenellida. Hexatenellida. They are also known as hylospongy, hylospongy. देखो, hylos means glass. Hylos means glass. Sponges means sponges. While the hexatenellida is made up of हेक्स मतलब 6. ये तो पता होगा ना सबको, हेक्सा मीन 6, हेप्टा 7 एंड ऑक्टा. हेक्स मतलब 6. एक्टिन मींस रे लाइक. That means these sponges skeleton is made up of 6 red पेन खत्म हो गया, ज्यादा लिखवा रहे हो आप? नहीं, अच्छा जाओ फटाफट क्विकली गो. हाँ लिखवाऊंगी तुम्हें, हुई गो जल्दी गो. quickly. देखो, what does that mean? देखो, so when we have talked about the calcarea, obviously when the deposition of calcium will be there, that would not be the transparent, is it? No, calcium is proper hard material, है ना? Can we say that, suppose that that's a calcium का whitewashing, can we see that transparently on the another side? No, but that's why the calcareous में हमने एक भी बार नहीं लिखा glasses and something like that. उनका जो skeleton है, that is made up of your calcium. Well, the hexatetraenida is the second thing. इनमें जो major component है, that is not calcium, that is made up of silica, and silica is transparent. ठीक है? So when the exoskeleton is made up of the silica, obviously we can see the transparent. That is why, because of that skeleton is made up of the silica, which is transparent in nature, that is why we call it glass sponges. ठीक है? So इनमें क्या है? इनकी जो ये जो suppose that यही वाली रे वो भी अभी ट्राइएक्सॉन में है, ठीक है? या फिर 6 रॉड, मतलब इसमें मल्टीपल दो बार ऐसे करके ट्राइएक्सॉन और 6 8 मिल जाए. कि अभी हम लोग करेंगे एक्सॉन या स्पिक्यूल्स हम लोग अलग से करेंगे. तो अगेन देयर बॉडी, जहां पे हमने करा था, इनकी सपोज दैट ओके, तो इनकी सपोज दैट बॉडी है, तो जो कैल्केरियस होते हैं उनकी बॉडी ऐसा नहीं होती है ना, उनकी बॉडी ट्रांसपेरेंट नहीं होती, बिकॉज कैल्शियम से इनकी बॉडी ट्रांसपेरेंट होती है. दैट्स व्हाई दे आर नोन एज, दे लुक लाइक द ग्लास स्पॉन्जेस. ठीक है, चलो नेक्स्ट इसको पॉइंट देखो. दे आर द मॉडरेट, दे आर द मॉडरेट साइज, हाँ, दे आर द मॉडरेट साइज ग्लास स्पॉन्जेस. They are the moderate size glass sponges. Glass sponges can also reach up to 1 meter in length. 1 meter in length. Next point. Body shape is cup. Body shape is cup or urn or vase-like in shape. Vase-like in shape. Next point. No dermal epithelium. No dermal epithelium found. or absence of, इसी में, or absence of exopinacoderm or absence of exopinacoderm. Next point. Conocytes restricted to finger-shaped chambers. Finger-shaped chambers. They are exclusively marine. And many found in deep sea. They again divided into two order. Next point. They divided into two order. इतना तक भी कभी भी नहीं पूछा गया है, ठीक है, बट वो ऐसे पूछते हैं ना, क्लासिफाई अप टू द दिस, अप टू दैट, so you just need to mention. लिख लियो. एग्जांपल में लिखो. Eublectella. What is the common name of Eublectella? Because
Then Venus flower basket.
why it is known as?
Oh.
Why it is known as?
Ma'am, because it was gifted in Japan.
Why?
Why?
That's your interview question.
Because of the network of spicules.
चलो इधर में लिखो इसका कॉमन नेम लिख लो दैट इज गोइंग टू बी क्वेश्चन दैट इज वन ऑफ द वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग थिंग दैट्स व्हाई दे हैव आस्क्ड फॉर द curiosity they are also known as Venus flower of basket because do you know the common name of Hyloneema? Jamshid,
No, ma'am.
anyone? Daksh, it's a proper graduation subject only. Hyloneema. It is actually known as a glass sponge. It is very transparent. What's the common name is this? Sure. Last, class 3, demo spongy. Demo spongy. Demo spongy. What did you say? Main biology में. Why? Marine biology. क्या कर लेते हो उससे? Why? It's not necessary. Look, it may be covering through the first time, ना? That maybe it will be difficult. We have covered in the graduation only. मुझे लगता है 2017 के बाद उन्होंने पढ़ानी छोड़ दिया कॉलेज वालों ने. Okay, now so the problem is the college वाले, है ना? During our time, it was like a dream for the doing. अच्छा, अब तो now I'm feeling that it's good that I haven't went for the DU. ये demo मतलब होता है frame, sponge मतलब obviously sponge. नहीं पढ़ाते हैं भाई, सब लोग पढ़ाते हैं. Students पढ़ते नहीं हैं. Bus. Obviously, it is bus only. And how many animals dissected? I make you guys feel like that you have missed a very beautiful thing. That's a dissection of animal. Doesn't matter. जो मजा animal dissect करने में आता है वो किसी में नहीं आता. Trust me. चलो right off. Demo spongy. देखो demos means frame. Spongy means sponges. Right off. Their skeleton made up of. Their skeleton is made up of siliceous spicules. Siliceous spicules or spongin fibers or spongin fiber spongin spongin fiber or both or absent next one they are small to large sized they are small to large sized comma solitary and colonial in nature. Wait, next body shape is like cup or wash or cushion shaped. Body shape is like cup or wash or cushion. CUSHION cushion. Next point. Spicules are monoxon, tetraxon, but never trixon. Next point. Body organization is leuconoid, is leuconoid, is leuconoid. हाँ leuconoid, इसी में कंटिन्यू करो. Conocytes, conocytes are restricted to a small rounded chambers, to a small rounded chambers. Next point. All are marine, all are marine except few, which comes in the family, Spongilidae, Spongillidae, Spongilidae. इसको हम लोग फर्दर ऑर्डर में नहीं डिवाइड करेंगे बिकॉज इट इज मोर कॉम्प्लेक्स एंड इट इज डिवाइडेड फर्दर फर्स्ट इन द फैमिली एंड देन ऑर्डर. एग्जांपल लिखो, राइट ऑन द एग्जांपल. स्पॉन्जिला, या इसी में स्पॉन्जिलिडी के साथ ब्रैकेट में लिखो पहले तो स्पॉन्जिला, स्पॉन्जिला, ठीक है, ब्रैकेट क्लोज, कॉमा, देखो कॉन्ड्रिला, CHONDRILLA, कॉन्ड्रिला, ON कॉन्ड्रिला, DRILLA, कॉमा. नेक्स्ट स्पॉन्जिया या यू स्पॉन्जिया, स्पॉन्जिया या यू स्पॉन्जिया दोनों सेम ही होते हैं. व्हाट इज द कॉमन नेम? जमशेद, व्हाट इज द कॉमन नेम ऑफ दैट? Anushka? Yes, exactly. Bath sponge. I don't use sponge or bath sponge. Bath sponge. ठीक है, done. Classification is done. Now the very important topic we are going to start, that is your water canal. ठीक है, in that समझा दे, वही करेंगे जाके अभी. That's why I'm trying to just going to correct. ठीक है, okay, I'll do that. एक बार पढ़ोगे ना प्रणव तो वैसे समझ आएगा, बट आई एम जस्ट ट्राइंग टू कनेक्ट इट. कैरेक्टरिस्टिक तो समझ आ गया ना? कैरेक्टरिस्टिक समझ आ गया? What are the characteristics of Porifera? First of all, they are living in not exclusively marine, like not exclusively, but they are the first animal organism. है ना? Porifera को हम लोग ने जनरली प्रोटोजोन्स, मेटोजोन्स में the Poriferans are the first. अच्छा, तो we know that पहली लाइफ कहाँ पे शुरू हुई आपकी? वाटर में. वाटर में भी किस टाइप की वाटर में? फ्रेश वाटर और दैट सॉल्ट वाटर? पिटाई पड़ेगी.
सॉल्ट वाटर, मरीन.
बना ही नहीं है अभी. सॉल्ट वाटर में, ठीक है. तो दे हैव they are made up, their first animal body is formed in the salt water. ठीक है, तो पहला पॉइंट तो हो गया मरीन. ठीक है, दे डू नॉट हैव कॉम्प्लेक्स. तो आप सेकंड पॉइंट आप क्या लिखोगे कि उनमें मल्टी सेलुलर था बिकॉज इसके जस्ट पहले वी हैव कवर्ड द प्रोटोजोन्स. वो यूनिसेलुलर था. अमीबा, पैरामीशियम, सब में सिंगल सेल ही तो थी, राइट. अभी इसमें क्या है, डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ सेल बन गए. अभी तो हमने देखा मल्टीपल नंबर ऑफ सेल्स, टीनोसाइट्स, कोलोनोसाइट्स, दिस साइड माइक्रोसाइट्स, है ना, अमीबोसाइट्स, आर्कियोसाइट्स, डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ सेल्स. हाँ, so they become multicellular, but even after multi-cell, different types of cells मिलके क्या बनाती है? Tissues. So they become multicellular, but still they do not have proper organ. They do not have a stomach, they do not have brain, they do not have eye. Nothing has been developed specifically. Yes, so they have the organization of the multicellular plus tissue level. खत्म. अब कोई organ तो है नहीं, तो organ के बारे में बात करने का मतलब नहीं है. That means in that complete organism, the specific types of cells are going to perform the specific type of things, right? Different cells ही तो perform करेंगी. अच्छा, so what we have covered, अब इनकी body की बात करते हैं. So now when talking about the body, they have the 3 layers. Mainly they have the 2 layers. The outer one is spinacoderm. इसको याद करना पड़ेगा पहले, ठीक है. हाँ, तो outer layer is spinacoderm और inside की layer conoderm. ये अंदर वाली layer याद रखना, because अभी I'm going to explain through that the water canal system. P for periphery, so outer one is spinacoderm and inside is your conoderm. इन दोनों के बीच में there's a simple kind of layer that is called mesolayer or the mesenchyme. अच्छा, ठीक है, समझ आ गया. अच्छा, mesolayer और mesenchyme have a specific types of cells that is called amoebocytes. Why we are calling them amoebocyte? Because amoeba does not have any particular shape and they can form any particular kind of structure. ठीक है। अच्छा, अब बाहर का तो फिक्स है प्रोडक्शन, अंदर का भी फिक्स है। बाहर की लेयर इज पिनाकोडर्म, अंदर की लेयर इज कोनोडर्म। बाहर का फिक्स है, प्रोडक्शन करेंगी, इसी के ऊपर स्पिक्यूल्स होंगे, एक्सोस्केलेटन बनेगा, दैट्स फिक्स्ड। अंदर की लेयर इज आल्सो फिक्स्ड इनसाइड ऑफ द बॉडी ऑर्गन की डाइजेशन में। यहाँ पे आपकी कौन सी सेल है बच्चा? कोनोडर्म सेल। याद रखना एवरीवन, यहाँ से वी आर गोइंग टू रीड द वाटर कैनाल सिस्टम। अंदर पे आपकी कौन सी है? ठीक है, समझ आ गया। इनका फिक्स है कि जब वाटर एंटर करेगा सो दे आर गोइंग टू डिसाइड सो मेनी थिंग। कोलोडर्म के बारे में भी वी हैव जस्ट मेंशन दैट वाटर कैनाल सिस्टम को ही रिकॉग्नाइज करती है, क्या रखना है, क्या जाना है, सो मेनी थिंग्स। ठीक है, अच्छा। अब और भी तो बॉडी की फंक्शन है ना। अच्छा, सो बीच में आपकी नॉन सेल्युलर दैट इज स्पेसिफिक काइंड ऑफ लेयर दैट इज कॉल्ड मेसोफिल और मेसेनकाइम, व्हाटएवर यू वांट टू से। मेसोफिल नहीं, वो उधर नहीं जाओ, अभी तो ये डिप्लोब्लास्टिक चल रहे हैं बच्चा, पॉरीफेरान्स है ना। अभी ये जाइगोट के बाद दे हैव द टू लेयर ओनली, एक्टोडर्म और मेसोडर्म। I know that will be confusing. That is mesophil or mesenchyme. ये वो वाली नहीं है बे, वो एम्ब्रियोनिक वाली नहीं है। उनका नाम है, they have name of ectoderm, mesoderm, endoderm. That is different. Derm मतलब derminal like embryonic layer, वो नहीं है ये अभी भी डिप्लोब्लास्टिक ही है, एक्टोडर्म और एंडोडर्म। ठीक है, जाइगोट के बाद दे हैव द ओनली टू लेयर्स। So now they have the mesophil or the mesenchyme non-cellular layer. So they do have a specific kind of cells that are known as amoebocytes. ठीक है, they are known as amoebocyte. हाँ, amoebocyte specific यहाँ पे suppose it as a specific type of cells है। हाँ, mesophil में वर्टिकल की cells है, इनको हमने amoebocyte बोला। अच्छा, they have the multiple functions because they are not specific. Suppose that मैं आपकी grafting करूँ और आपके हाथ की स्किन को आपके हार्ट पे लगा दो, will it work? Because we are very specific, we are very complex, so we cannot do this. But they are like not that much specific, so they can perform, one cell can perform the multiple thing. ठीक है, अच्छा। So mesophil layer has that ability to form different types of cells depending upon the function or the requirement. ठीक है, अब कौन कौन सी सेल होती है? कोनोडर्म यहीं पर आ चुकी है। Never ever you guys are going to write that यहाँ पे कोनोडर्म होती नहीं, कोनोडर्म is specifically here, end of the story। ठीक है, वो मेजर कॉम है इसका। अमीबोसाइट का डिफरेंट सेल बनाती है, जैसे कि थीरोसाइट्स बनाती है, माइक्रोसाइट्स बनाती है, ये वाली सेल्स जो अभी हमने मेंशन करी है। इधर गया, यस। अब अमीबोसाइट सेल जो है जिनके पास टोटिपोटेंसी है, टोटिपोटेंसी दैट मींस दे कैन जनरेट अनदर टाइप ऑफ सेल्स टू। वो किसी में भी फॉर्म हो सकती है। किसमें फॉर्म हो रही है? आर्कियो में, ट्रोपो में, ट्रोफोमी में, चीजों में, स्पॉन्ज में, डिपेंडिंग अपॉन द फंक्शन। ठीक है, डिफरेंट अमीबोसाइट जो सेल है वो इनमें से किसी में भी फॉर्म हो सकती है। ठीक है, दैट मींस दीज सेल्स पहले से नहीं फॉर्म हो रही है, ये बाद में फॉर्म होंगी। ठीक है, डिपेंडिंग अपॉन द कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी, डिपेंडिंग अपॉन द न्यूट्रिशन एंड प्रोटीन। समझ आ गया? यहाँ पे आपका ये एक्सटर्नल में खत्म हो गया। अब इंटरनल में जाओ। इंटरनल में अभी आई शो द स्ट्रक्चर, ये समझ आ गया? एक्सटर्नली, इंटरनली बॉडी जो होती है इसकी, दे हैव द डिफरेंट लेवल ऑफ पोर्स। ठीक है, अच्छा। कैसी होती है बॉडी? वेरी सिंपल, स्पॉन्जेस हैव दिस बॉडी। Don't you think it is like a vase shape जिसमें फ्लावर डालते हैं? So that is why on an average सारे को हम vase shape बोलते हैं। ठीक है, किधर है आपको ये सब कुछ, हम किधर बात कर रहे हैं? Done? We can see the pores. These are the pores. बाहर से डायरेक्टली अंदर तक। ये कहाँ पर है आपके? मरीन वाटर बॉडी में, पानी में। ठीक, ये आपकी कौन सी हो गई? पिनाकोडर्म, आउटर मोस्ट लेयर। ठीक है, जहां पे आपके क्या है? स्पिक्यूल्स है। ठीक है, ये वाली लेयर आपकी कौन सी हो गई? कोनोडर्म वाली लेयर, जहां पे आपकी क्या है? कोनोडर्म। ये सिंपलेस्ट टाइप का है। कैलकेरियस स्पॉन्जेस की हम बात करें, दिस इज द मोस्ट सिंपल स्पॉन्जेस, आल्सो हाउ इट बिकम कॉम्प्लेक्स। ठीक है, अच्छा। ये मेसोफिल हो गई। अब यहाँ पे ये बाहर और इन दोनों के बीच में मेसोफिल थी ना, तो यहाँ पे डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ सेल जो जरूरत होगी वो बन जाएगी, बात खत्म। अच्छा, अब आते हैं वाटर कैनाल सिस्टम, समझ आ गया? अब इनके पास किनके बीच की जगह, तो यही पता है मेसोफिल सेल बचा, टाइप पड़ेगी अभी तुमको, कहाँ डायग्राम अलग अलग किया है? बिटवीन दैट टू, ये वही तो बताने चाह रहे हैं, दैट इज वाटर कैनाल सिस्टम, दैट इज अ कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स, ठीक है? इनकी बॉडी जैसे हमारे में ऐसा है कि कुछ बाहर से आएगा डायरेक्टली अंदर चला जाएगा, डू वी हैव पोर्स मल्टीपल? नो, बिकॉज वी हैव द प्रॉपर कॉम्प्लेक्स बॉडी, दे हैव द पोर्स बिकॉज दे आर नॉट दैट मच कॉम्प्लेक्स, ठीक है? वी डू हैव, हमारे पास डाइजेशन के लिए अलग पोर है, रेस्पिरेशन के लिए अलग पोर है ना, बट दे डू नॉट हैव एनीथिंग बिकॉज दे आर द सिंपलेस्ट लेवल ऑफ आज। सो होता क्या है, व्हाट हैपेंस एक्चुअली, they are in that water body, okay? So water enters from here, lateral sides, water enters from here. So when you are going to see that water canal system, I have mentioned that water enters through the ostium, समझ आया? तो ये सारे पोर्स को हम क्या कह रहे हैं, get it now? पक्का? अच्छा, so that external cavity that is called in simple pore, वो डायरेक्टली आपके इंटरनल बॉडी से कनेक्ट है, से कुछ अलग तो है नहीं, जैसे हमारे पास इतनी कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी है। सो दिस बॉडी कैविटी इज कॉल्ड स्पॉन्जो, ठीक है? दैट इज पैरागैस्ट्रिक कैविटी, दैट इज कॉल्ड स्पॉन्जोसील, गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? अच्छा, द कैरेक्टरिस्टिक फीचर ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर स्पॉन्जेस और द पॉरीफेरेंस आर द कोनोडर्म, देखो लिखा हुआ है हमने, do not need to think about that pronunciation, okay? अभी एक बात है ना, जस्ट वन, देखो कोनोडर्म में हमने लिखा है कैरेक्टरिस्टिक फीचर, देखो क्विकली एवरीवन, स्टार्टिंग आई थिंक 5th या 6th पॉइंट होगा, 4th या 5th पॉइंट, कोनोसाइट्स, कोनोडर्म लिखा है कैरेक्टरिस्टिक फीचर, है ना? ठीक है, अच्छा, दीज आर द कोनोडर्म साइट्स फाइनली, जो कि अभी आपके डायरेक्टली यहाँ से, क्योंकि सिंपलेस्ट टाइप का है इसलिए डायरेक्टली कांटेक्ट कर रही है स्पॉन्जोसील से। जब ये पर्टिकुलर स्पॉन्जेस, व्हेन दिस पर्टिकुलर स्पॉन्ज बिकम मोर कॉम्प्लिकेटेड, आई विल शो यू हाउ इट बिकम कॉम्प्लिकेटेड, देन स्पॉन्जोसील विल, अभी जैसे हम लोग आगे आगे लिख रहे हैं, जैसे कि फर्स्ट हमने लिखा कैलकेरियस, फिर हमने लिखा हेक्साटेनिडा, फिर हमने लिखा डेमोस्पॉन्जी, सो दिस इज अ कैलकेरियस, इसमें सिंपल बॉडी है, अभी इसके जाके हमने फोल्ड बनाने शुरू कर देने हैं, तो फिर दिस विल बी कॉलिंग द कैनाल, अभी इसको रहने देते हैं, अभी वी जस्ट कंसिडर विद दैट। अच्छा, तो वाटर इज एंटरिंग थ्रू दैट ऑस्टियम, एवरीवन, ठीक है? And water enter with so much nutrition or food particles, whatever it want to take, because they are sessile in general, they are stuck with that substratum, they are not movable, है ना? इसीलिए इनका लार्वा मूवेबल होता है, ठीक है? What we have mentioned that amphiblastula और the parenchyma larva वो मूवेबल होता है, but they are just simply body में कुछ है ही नहीं, so they just stuck with that substratum, ठीक है? जहां पर है वो वहीं पे रहते हैं, ठीक है? अच्छा, वाटर एंटर गया, उसके साथ बहुत सारे फूड पार्टिकल, तो दीज आर द कोनोसाइट सेल गाइस which have the ability to recognize what to keep or what to release, समझ आया? That is why they are the characteristic feature of this particular phylum. बाकी सब तो ठीक है, ये जो मेसोफिल सेल्स बना रही थी, है ना, the archaeocytes, the thesiocytes, the whatever the sites, वो तो सपोर्टिंग था, right? If the animal will not get to know that what to eat or what not to eat, so can a particular animal can survive? No. And that particular thing is going to be decided by this konocytes. Getting my point, everyone? That is why they are present directly into that here. ठीक है? enough? समझ आ गया? अब यहाँ पूरा ऑर्गेनिज्म नहीं मूव कर पाएगा, वहां में हमने एक भी लिखा है मूव करने के लिए सेल्स, जरा देखो, नहीं मैं बता रही हूँ आपको, है ना, मैं लैंग्वेज ही इतनी घटिया हो चुकी, चिल्ला चिल्ला नो, द पर्टिकुलर कंप्लीट ऑर्गेनिज्म कैन नॉट मूव, है ना? अमीबोसाइट्स है छोटू छोटू सेल, यूनिसेलुलर थोड़ी है, सो दैट वन सेल इज गोना मूव, द कंप्लीट ऑर्गेनिज्म इज गोना मूव। नो, स्पॉन्ज देखा है कभी? बहुत स्पॉन्ज हॉस्पिटल में देखा है कभी? इट्स अ प्रॉपर बिग एनिमल, यूप्लेक्टेला तो इज लाइक दिस, यूप्लेक्टेला तो इज लाइक दैट, so it's not छोटू सेट्स, लाइक 1 मीटर हाइट की पहुंचने तक, समझ आ रहा है? What is 1 meter? है ना? It's not movable. It's like that. ठीक है? वो amoebocyte cells हैं, that's it. है ना? उसको छोड़ दो अभी, खत्म. वो कहते थे फीचर नहीं है. अभी यहाँ पर आ जाओ. ठीक है? Water entered with the so many food particles or whatever the gases exchange they required, and that is going to decide by that conodont. Conodont ने decide कर लिया, और this is called osculum. ठीक है? हाँ, exactly. जो water lateral area से आ रहा है, unnecessary article, unnecessary food particle जो digest नहीं हुआ है, वो सब कहाँ से remove कहाँ से होगा? Getting my point? पक्का? Spongocoel is just open body cavity. स्टोर कुछ नहीं कर रहा भाई, open body cavity है. कुछ complex नहीं ना बच्चा, प्रणव. They are the very simple type. They are not complex like us. They are very simple type. थोड़े बहुत ज्यादा इनका survivability भी नहीं है, ठीक है? So just come and यहाँ पे cavity में जो उनको चाहिए वो रख लिया, बाकी remove कर. So osculum is the point जहाँ से हम कोई भी चीज excrete out कर रहे हैं. Okay, Shriram? Except that excretory waste or that unnecessary part, except that excretory waste or unnecessary food particles, or which is not required by the body. Osculum is also the area जहाँ से the gamete is also releasing. That is, gamete कहाँ बन रहा था? यहाँ बन रहा था mesophyll cells में. Specific kind of cells were forming like germ cells or the gamete cells. तो उन्होंने form किया, और जब इन्हें reproduction, इनका जब breeding season आएगा, so they are going to release. अब इनके पास कोई specific pore तो है नहीं, so that gametes is also going to release outside in the water through that osculum with the help of water current. Okay, that is overall water canal. समझ आ गया? पक्का? Ostium अभी इतना easy नहीं है. You are doing that thumbs up. अभी तो हम simply explain that what is water canal system. यहाँ तक अच्छा था, अभी नहीं अच्छा लगेगा. ठीक है? That is entering through the ostium, whatever accepted through that conodome, conocytes, and not required or unnecessary it is excrete out to the osculum. याद रखना, यही चलेगा. तो यहाँ पे suppose that ये आपने एक type of water canal complete कर लिया. Water canal system is majorly of 3 types. अब यहाँ पे आता है जो नहीं अच्छा लगेगा. ठीक है? So now what is water canal? Yes बच्चा.
मैम क्वानोडर्म में क्वानोसाइट सेल्स होते हैं.
Yes. Derm means layer, conocytes means cell. Yes. आगे.
पिनाकोडर्म में कैल्शियम स्पाइक्यूल्स.
आउटसाइड में है तो एक्सोस्केलेटन नहीं फॉर्म करेगी.
यस मैम. उसमें सेल्स नहीं होते कोई?
नहीं, ऐसा सेल्स नहीं, मतलब इट्स आउटर लेयर. डर्म है ना बच्चा, तो डर्म लेयर है तो ऑब्वियसली बनी तो सेल्स के थ्रू होगी ना.
जैसे क्वानोडर्म में क्वानोसाइट्स हैं, ऐसे पिनाकोडर्म में पिनाकोसाइट.
या दैट्स आउटर लेयर, दैट्स इट.
एंड मैम जो मेसोफिल मिडिल वाली है वो नॉन सेलुलर है.
हाँ, मतलब इट इज नॉट कंटिन्यूअस. स्पेसिफिक टाइप्स ऑफ सेल्स नहीं है. This mesenchyme or the mesotel specifically made up of the specific cell that is called amoebocyte. Depending upon the condition, this amoebocyte forming a different types of layer. That is why it is called that non-cellular. That means suppose that if you talk about that your skin is made up of specific kind of epidermal cells. That means your whole skin is made up of epidermal cells, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So that does not present in that mesenchyme. Mesenchyme is not made up of specific type of cells. It is made up of specific cells, that is your amoebocytes. Depending upon the condition, amoebocyte can form different types of cells. Okay?
Ma'am.
Anjali, कुछ रह गया? Something has left.
Ma'am.
Yes. Ask quickly, Anjali. Shani, I'll come to you. Ask Anjali. Come to you.
मेसोफिल वाला एक बार रिपीट करना. कुछ
नहीं है बच्चा. मीजल में ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं. आप लोग कंफ्यूजर हो. So that is your pinacoderm. That is your conodome. ठीक है? यहाँ पे there is not continuous layer of something specific kind of cells. There is a random cells यहाँ पे which are called the amoebocyte. Okay? Which are called the amoebocyte. These amoebocyte cells, depending upon the condition, जैसे कि breeding season आया, so अगर ये continuous होती तो they do not have the ability. That is why they are calling the totipotency. Suppose that breeding season आया, so this amoebocyte cell will form the germ cells. है ना? Suppose that they want to go into the dormant condition, so they want to convert into schizocyte cells to provide the nourishment. That is not are we saying that this is going to convert into different types of cells? Anjali?
No, ma'am.
Are we getting that? Matlab, this is just a random space which is filled by specific kind of cells that is called amoebocytes, and this layer is calling it mesenchyme or mesophyll. Okay?
मैम मतलब कि ये सेल्स की बनी नहीं होती है, लेकिन इसमें सेल्स होते हैं. They contain cells but not made up of cells.
Yes.
Okay, मैम.
Yes, Shwani, go on.
मैम यही डाउट था मेरा भी.
हो गया क्लियर?
या
So आपने अभी जो हमने पढ़ाया, the simple water canal system, that water is entering through that ostium, taking the nutrition and exit out through the, ये आपका एक टाइप हो गया इसका. ठीक है? क्या पढ़ा है मैंने अभी? That water is entering through that ostium, entered in that spongocoel, whatever they want to take, they took it, and that exit out to that ostium. That is called your Asconoid system. हाँ, पहला वाला कवर कर दिया. ठीक है? अब आप लोग ये देखो. So सबसे पहले जो ऑर्गेनिज्म बना in that sponges, that was continuous. ठीक है? फिर God has thought, what happened, Daksh? फिर God has thought to make it more complicated, right? So God has created, okay, fine. This is an organism, right? Obviously. So God अभी continuous बना रहे हैं, course बाद में से erase करके बना देंगे, चलेगा? So God has thought to create more complicated, right? So God has created that's a double layer ना. ठीक है? Suppose that a page or a balloon or a flexible membrane, जिसमें आपने क्या किया? Projections कर दिए, है ना? इसमें इसी चीज को अगर मैं ऐसे कर दूं, like, है ना? So that will going to form like this. यही तो है वो. देखो earlier यही तो था. Getting my point? समझ आ गया? Sit down. टेंसिटी हटाओ, अभी कॉम्प्लेक्स कर रहे हैं. ठीक है? जमशेद, getting that online. ठीक है? That become more complicated. But God did not satisfy here still. So God said, okay, let me do one more step. God is me, me is God, right? चलो, no, I'm not God, not at all. ठीक है? Then God has said, ऐसे काम नहीं चलेगा. Look at more complicated. अब इसको क्या कॉम्प्लिकेट बनो करोगे? God has created यहाँ पे भी एक्स्ट्रा. ठीक है? So what the God did, उस जो finger like projections थे, उसमें they again make more fold. So actually can we say that this is a more folding? यहाँ पे there was a single layer, right? Then nature has created more foldings in them. But the third level, it is, देखना, हाँ देखना, ये जा रहा था, right? ये वाला layer ऐसे कंसीडर करो, ये जा रहा था, but God said no, no, no. और कॉम्प्लिकेट करो. So उस one finger like projection में there is more projections. Are we getting that? Jamshid, Priya, are we getting it? Okay? Okay, fine. दूसरे में भी? Yes, पूरी बॉडी में. ठीक है? Do not get confused. ये फिंगर वाली बन रही थी पोजीशन, right? इस फिंगर वाली प्रोजेक्शन में the God has done more projection. देखो यही तो फिंगर था, तो उसी में more projection the God has created, और better से the nature has created. समझ आ गया? अब खत्म हो गया वाटर कैनल. ठीक है? पक्का? Yes, हिमानी. Wait a minute. Got it right? Yes, Daksh. पहले सिंपल था, then we did more projections, and in that more projection we created then more projection. We punched like this. That's the water canal system. So first is your Ascon type, second is your Sycon type, and third is your Leucon type. ठीक है, तीन टाइप हमने लिखे. As we are going to more complicated. अब इसमें वाटर थोड़ा सा कॉम्प्लिकेटेड वे में जाएगा. अभी भी प्रोसीजर गाइस वही है. ठीक है, स्टिल अच्छा. In that demo spongy, we have written. Acha, you guys tell me. First evolution, first life has been formed in that marine, right? Then after life has been formed, started in that fresh water. So that means to form the body or the life in the fresh water, we required more complication, right? That is why ये जो more complicated है ना? It is found in spongilla. That is your freshwater sponge, because it can survive in a more complex way. God has, or the nature has, make it more complex so that it can survive into that. अच्छा, यहाँ पे just last thing, you know? अब इसको पोर्स आप सोचो कैसे बनाना पड़ेगा, उसमें कैसे बनाओगे? यही था, तो भी हम लोग ऐसे ही बनाएंगे. ठीक है, आज रहने देती हूँ, अभी मैं सिंपल बनाने की कोशिश करती हूँ. I'll try. So here it was the conoderm, right? Conoderm actually here in the direct contact with the spongocoel. But okay, but as we are going to be more complicated, the conoderm will going to also be restricted. देखो अब इसी में मैंने क्या किया, इसको रेस कर दिया, है ना? इसी को आपने क्या किया, इरेज कर दिया. So that is one layer. ठीक है, that is second. ये एक बॉडी पोर हो गया. ठीक है, फिर एक ये बॉडी पोर हो गया, फिर एक ये बॉडी पोर हो गया, फिर एक ये बॉडी पोर. अब ऑस्टियम दिख रही है, कहां पर है गाइस? ऑस्टियम दिख रही है ना? बस वही है ऑस्टियम जो दिख रही है. ठीक है, यस, बट हमने उसको थोड़ा सा इस वे में बना दिया. समझ आया? तो ये डायग्राम आप लोग अपने एग्जाम में भी पेंसिल से बना सकते. यही वाली, ये तो है ना, ये है, यही तो. बाहर से पानी जब आ रहा है तो फर्स्ट इट विल इंटरैक्ट हियर ओनली. श्रीराम, व्हाट हैपेंड? यू ओके? दैट इज योर ऑस्टियम. एंड स्टिल ऑस्कुलम तो फिक्स्ड है, ऑस्कुलम में कोई कॉम्प्लिकेशन नहीं करना है. एंड नाउ दिस इज आल्सो द स्पॉन्जोसील. हाँ, बढ़ेगा. Obviously, area will increase. Exactly, that is why it is in general philosophy of the natural selection that as the body become broader or that bigger, that is more survivability. So उसमें exception आ जाता है. Then why dinosaur did not survive, है ना? But in general, as we go complex, the body size become complex also, the bigger ones. ठीक है, यहाँ पे कोनोडर्म थे इंटरनल लेयर में, अब यहाँ पे आपके कोनोडर्म आ जाएंगे. Enough? Anushka, right? This is your conoderm. ठीक है? That is your conoderm. I don't know. मैं पढ़ाने के बाद भूल जाती हूँ. ठीक है, अब देखो यहाँ पे वही डायग्राम कैसे बनाना है. So that is the structure. यहाँ पे बनाया. ठीक है, ऐसे दो बना दो सिर्फ, बबल को दो फॉर्मेशन. ठीक है, फिर आपने एक और बबल बनाया, उसको भी दो पार्ट में डिवाइड कर. फिर आपने एक और बबल बनाया सिंपल, इसको भी आपने दो पार्ट में डिवाइड कर दिया. अब हुआ कॉम्प्लिकेट प्रणव? अब हुआ कॉम्प्लिकेट? स्टिल दैट इज योर ऑस्टियम. ठीक है, एंड हियर इज द कोनोडर्म. अच्छा guys, one thing we want to see, which I have mentioned in the demo spongy, that now यहाँ पे that conoderm was directly in contact with the spongocoel, right? But here we are making the canals like structure through that finger like projection. We are making the canals like structure or that chamber, है ना? हमने इस proper कोई chamber में divide करने लग गए. ठीक है, so conoderms are located in that particular canal or chamber. ये point हमने लिखा हुआ. ठीक है, अभी भी वही प्रोसेस है. अब इसको हमने बस थोड़ा सा नाम दे दिया, प्रोजोपाइल और एपोपाइल. अभी भी water canal system is same, entering through the ostium, touching with that conodome. Conodome is deciding what to take, what to leave, and then it is entering the spongocoel and exit out to the. मैंने simple इसलिए I have tried to make it very simple so that जब आप diagram बनाओ तो you should have been cleared कि diagram में क्या हो रहा है. Diagram में just we are making more foldings. जैसे कि suppose that ऐसे consider कर लो, आपकी intestine थी, है ना, that is your intestinal wall. आपने इसको, ये आपका simple intestine थी, that is your asconoid, है ना. फिर आपने उसमें क्या बना दिया, इसको syconoid. फिर आपको लगा नहीं ऐसे तो खाना डाइजेस्ट नहीं हो रहा है, make it more, तो आपने इसके ऊपर भी ऐसे और डाइजेशन. The psychon or that animal is showing that how the complexity level is increasing, and that is also helping in that increase the body surface area, so that have more nutrition and more complexity. Yes, more energy भी होगा obviously, besides something is increasing. ठीक है, tomorrow we'll cover that water canal system. Yes, yes, ask me. ये इसमें तो नहीं है ना, अब ये वाला कंप्लीट हो गया. ठीक है गाइस, यस, look at your copy. नहीं लिखा इसमें कोनोडम का फंक्शन. थैंक यू गाइस, है ना, we'll continue tomorrow.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you बच्चा.